Kyiv is still standing. The streets are open, people are working, and life hasn't stopped. But if you imagine it as just another European city you can casually visit right now, that picture is incomplete, because what you don't see in photos or short clips is what truly defines the experience. The quiet tension, the sudden interruptions, the routines people have adapted to without even thinking about them anymore. This isn't just a destination. It's a city living through something ongoing. So if you're wondering what it's actually like to be there right now, here are 15 things most people don't tell you about visiting Kyiv today. Number 15. Entry is still possible but limited. You can still enter, but it's not a typical trip. Ukraine hasn't completely closed itself to foreign visitors, but tourism isn't operating in the usual way. Most people entering Kyiv today are there for work, journalism, aid, or family reasons rather than casual travel. Even when entry is possible, the process can involve additional checks, changing requirements, and uncertainty. It's not impossible to go, but it doesn't feel like planning a normal vacation. Number 14. No direct flights into Kyiv. There are no direct commercial flights into Kyiv. Airspace restrictions mean you cannot simply book a flight into the city. Most travelers enter Ukraine by land, crossing through neighboring countries like Poland. That adds hours, sometimes an entire day, to your journey. From the very beginning, the trip feels different from anything you're used to. Number 13. Air raid sirens shape daily life. Air raid sirens are part of daily life. This is something you don't fully understand until you hear it yourself. Sirens can go off at any time, day or night, and when they do, people respond in different ways. Some head to shelters, others continue cautiously depending on the situation. For locals, it has become routine. For visitors, it's something that immediately changes how you perceive the environment. Number 12. Shelter infrastructure is everywhere. You'll notice shelters everywhere. Underground stations, basements, reinforced areas. These spaces are part of the city's infrastructure now. Many buildings have designated safe areas, and public awareness of where to go is high. Even if you never need to use one, just knowing they're there and seeing how normal they've become leaves an impression. Number 11. Sudden power disruptions can happen. The city can go dark without warning. Power outages still happen, sometimes as a result of infrastructure strain or targeted disruptions. When they do, entire areas can lose electricity temporarily. Shops adjust, homes rely on backup systems, and people continue their routines in ways that feel surprisingly organized. For visitors, it's a reminder of how quickly conditions can change. Number 10. Daily life still continues. Normally on the surface, life continues, but in a different rhythm. Cafes are open, public transport is running, and people still meet, work, and go about their routines. On the surface, Kyiv can feel surprisingly normal and active, but beneath that, there's a different pace shaped by awareness and caution. People adjust quietly without drawing attention to it. It's not chaotic or disorganized. Instead, it reflects a kind of steady resilience where daily life continues, but always with an understanding that things can change at any moment. Number 9. Curfews still affect movement. Curfews are still part of everyday life. Unlike most major cities, Kyiv operates with specific time restrictions that affect movement, especially late at night. Depending on current conditions, staying out too late or traveling after certain hours may not be possible. This changes how you plan your day, from simple outings to longer trips across the city. As a visitor, you have to stay aware of these limits and adjust your schedule carefully to avoid unnecessary complications or confusion. Number 8. Security checkpoints are part of travel. Checkpoints are a normal part of moving around. As you travel through Kyiv or its surrounding areas, you may come across checkpoints set up for security purposes. These are routine and generally handled in an organized way, but they still remind you that movement isn't entirely free-flowing. You might need to slow down, show identification, or follow instructions before continuing. It doesn't usually cause problems, but it adds a layer of awareness to every journey and changes how you experience getting from one place to another. Number 7. Conversations feel more real and direct. Conversations feel more direct and more meaningful. When you talk to people in Kyiv, interactions often go beyond surface-level small talk. Many locals speak with honesty and clarity, shaped by what they're experiencing. There's a sense of openness that makes conversations feel more real and grounded. Even brief exchanges can carry more depth than expected. As a visitor, this changes how you connect with people, creating moments that feel more genuine and memorable than typical travel interactions. Number 6. Tourism infrastructure is limited. Tourism isn't the city's main focus right now. While hotels are open and some services are available, Kyiv isn't operating as a typical tourist destination. Most attention is directed toward more immediate priorities, which means fewer organized tours and less structured travel support. You won't find the same polished experience designed around visitors. Instead, you're stepping into a city focused on its own reality, where daily life continues without being shaped around tourism in the way many other destinations are. Number 5. Backup payment options matter. Cash and preparation matter more than usual. Digital payments are still available in Kyiv, but relying only on them isn't always the safest option. Temporary disruptions, technical issues, issues or sudden changes can affect how transactions work in certain moments. Because of this, having cash as a backup becomes important. It gives you flexibility when systems don't function as expected. Travelers who arrive prepared, with multiple payment options and a plan, usually move through the city more smoothly than those depending entirely on convenience. Number 4. Emotional atmosphere is always present. Emotional weight is part of the environment. As you move through Kiev, you begin to notice small but powerful reminders everywhere. Memorials, flags, photographs, and quiet tributes appear in different parts of the city. Even if no one speaks about it directly, you can feel that something important is unfolding. It's not overwhelming every second, but it stays present in the background. You don't just see Kiev as a place, you experience the emotions tied to what people there are living through. Number 3. Information feels different depending on source. Information moves differently here. In Kiev, people pay close attention to updates, alerts, and news as part of daily life. Information is followed carefully, often in real time. At the same time, local perspectives can differ from what international media presents. As a visitor, you may notice this contrast gradually. It becomes clear that understanding the city isn't just about what you see physically, but also about how information is shared and interpreted depending on the source. Number 2, flexibility is essential. Plans can change quickly. Traveling in Kiev requires flexibility more than anything else. Transportation schedules, access to certain areas, or daily routines can shift without much notice. Something that seems certain in the morning might change later in the day. Because of this, visitors learn to stay adaptable and avoid relying on rigid plans. Those who remain flexible tend to handle the experience better, while those expecting everything to run exactly as planned often find it more challenging. Number 1. Kiev is still alive, but it is not a normal trip. Kiev is still alive, but it's not a place you visit casually. The city's landmarks, culture, and identity remain strong. People continue living their lives, and the city keeps moving forward. But the situation surrounding it changes how everything feels. This is not just another destination you pass through. It's a place going through a significant moment in history. Visiting Kiev means recognizing that reality, not just observing it, but understanding what it represents beyond the surface. Kiev today is not defined by what's missing, but by how people continue despite it. It's a place where normal life and extraordinary circumstances exist side by side. For some, that makes it meaningful to visit. For others, it's something to respect from a distance. So the real question is not whether you can go, but whether you should and why. What do you think? Would you consider visiting Kiev in this situation, or would you wait? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more honest, real-world insights like this, not just what you see on the surface, make sure you subscribe, because the next video might completely change how you see another place.